So right now, it is 5 o'clock in the morning, and I just watched the ARMS Direct that Nintendo held earlier today. Not even today, yesterday. And I gotta say, this game is looking really, really hype. Now, I was planning on reacting to this Direct, and it hurt me that I couldn't. I was off for 3 days, and then of course, Nintendo decides to hold a Direct when I'm working, and that really makes me upset because I'm never off on 3 days, like literally 3 days, and just nothing happens. It's like the most slowest news days possible, and then all the hype stuff happens as soon as I get to work. I cried. Like, it hurt me, actually. But let's talk about this ARMS Direct. Now, I wasn't even planning on talking about it, as I mentioned earlier. It's just, I watched it, and I was like, oh my god, like, I need to make a video about this. This game looks amazing. So, let's just start talking about it. First things first, the characters. Oh my god, the characters in this game. It reminds me a lot of Overwatch, a completely different game, mind you, but just how diverse all of the characters are reminds me a lot of Overwatch, and how just aesthetically different they all are is so exciting to me. Like, even the characters that they revealed a long time ago, like Springman and Ribbon Girl, Master Mummy, Min Min, Mechanica, Ninjata, like, I love all of these characters a lot because, again, they're so different aesthetically. Now, I don't know how the game exactly plays. I mean, I guess we will be playing it pretty soon. We'll get onto that later, though. But I just like how different they are when it comes to their arms stretching. Like Master Mummy, he uses his bandages, and you have Mechanica, you know, she has like the suit, and you have Ribbon Girl uses ribbons, Springman uses obviously springs, Min Min uses noodles. Like, that's fantastic. I love all the differing types of arms that are stretching. One of my favorite parts about this Direct was the very beginning when they were like talking about like kind of the story behind ARMS. That was really, really interesting. Like, I hope, I mean, it doesn't look like this game's going to get a story mode, unfortunately, but that was really, really cool when it was like talking about how like people experimented and tried to learn of the origin of ARMS and where this came from, and it was showing like hieroglyphics in like Egypt or something of like, you know, like cave paintings and stuff. Like, I really, really liked that. That was super like, whoa, like, this is really new. Like, I've never seen anything like that. And it kind of feels like the backbone of the game now that I know that those origins are there. Like, now when I see the trailers, it has a different feel to it. Like, the tone of the game itself is really interesting. I mean, it's super hip and like, you know, it feels like a game for young people, obviously, but there's also something else going on. There's another aspect to the game that they haven't really touched on, and I hope that they do eventually. That's the most disappointing thing about this entire Direct, was them not alluding more to like a story itself. I hope that there's something there. There is a story with each of the characters, though. Now, I don't think it's actually going to make it into the game, but how like Biff, the narrator or whatever of the Direct, was going on about each of the characters, I thought was really interesting. How like Springman just woke up one day and he had just spring arms, and it was like, hey, this is kind of cool. Like, I thought that was really funny, and how like Ribbon Girl is like a pop star, and Min Min is defending her ramen shop, and Master Mummy trying to find his lost family. Like, whoa, we Tekken boys? Like, what's going on? Man, this is like King of the Iron Fist tournament. Like, people are like, it's like life and death kind of stuff going on. I thought that was really cool. Not life and death stuff, I guess, but that is really cool that each of the characters kind of have their own motivation. And the new character they revealed, Kid Cobra, terrible, terrible name for a character, but Kid Cobra, he looked really cool. But I like how he was just in the tournament just so he can get like more views on his streams, his live streams. I thought that was hilarious. Like, I know that everyone reacting to that was like, oh my god, that's me. But yeah, that was super cool. I really like that. Some of the other new characters that they talked about, I can't remember all their names, unfortunately. Actually, I do remember one, though. Barq and Byte. This was my least favorite character. Probably my least favorite character in the game. I do not like the way this character looks. Aesthetically, he's fine. Like, I mean, he's like this weird robot cop-looking character. That's kind of interesting. But I don't like the companion, Byte or Barq or whatever. I don't know which one's which. I don't really like that. I don't know how that's going to work in the game. I'm starting to think this character's going to be illegal. Like, in competitive play? No way. That's not going to fly. No, I'm just joking. I'm sure there's a way. There has to be some kind of weakness to that little thing. Like, can you even punch that? I don't know. That's definitely going to be interesting when I play as that character for sure. But again, probably my least favorite character aesthetically. The other character that they revealed was the movie star lady. I can't remember her name, unfortunately. It was like Twintelle? Was it Twintelle? I think it was Twintelle. She was the one with the... Yeah, Twintelle with the pigtails. Yeah, that was her. That was a fantastic idea for a character. I love this character so much. First things first, waifu, for sure. Oh my gosh. Like, I mean, it's Min Min, Ribbon Girl, and Twintelle for sure in the Battle of Waifu. I mean, that was... She's looking clean, that's for sure. But I like her aesthetically with the pigtails. Like, I think that really works with the game, how she just has regular arms, but her pigtails fight for her. And even her arms herself, like her different abilities, I found the most interesting, how she had like these weird like little blue birds that flew around, and also the parasol as well. I thought that looked really, really cool. So I'm super excited to play as her. I don't know if she's going to be my main, but she definitely looked really cool. And again, Kid Cobra, stupid name, but I thought that the character itself looked pretty cool. So there's 10 confirmed characters, and they're going to be adding more, which is so exciting that they're going that Overwatch. It's 5 in the morning. Give me a break. Overwatch route with releasing characters like every few months. I think that's really, really cool, and it definitely adds a lot of longevity. And they're going to be adding new stages as well. Hopefully new modes and like events and stuff. Hopefully they go all in with that and really like have events like the same way Overwatch does. I think a lot of games should follow in the footsteps of what Blizzard has done with Overwatch and how it's just added so much. I haven't played Overwatch in so long, and they're about to have a new event. I'm going to jump back into that game 100% for sure, and I bought it a year ago. Like, that is what game developers need and want for their games. So you got to add that longevity, and having free content released ever so often is a fantastic idea, and I'm glad Nintendo is jumping on it 100% for sure. Excellent move, Nintendo, without a doubt. Some of the modes in this game also looked really cool. The one I didn't like is Hoops. That looked really stupid. Get that out of here, please. I did not like that at all. I mean, like, it just didn't seem fair. Like, it didn't really... I would just prefer if there was a basketball mode where you actually have to just pick up a basketball and shoot it. Like, that would be more fun to me than carrying the... I mean, it wouldn't really make sense. But carrying the character and dunking it, like, it just felt really just, like, put together sloppily? I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But that just, I don't know. I did not like that at all. But the volleyball mode, I can't remember what it's called. It's like hot potato fused with volleyball. That looks super fun. I can imagine that being really, really exciting, playing with multiple people and just going back and forth. Like, that's going to be real fun playing that, you know, locally and online. Like, that's going to be awesome. I'm excited. And then they showed the online mode, like party mode or whatever. That looked really, really cool. I like the way that looked. I kind of wish that there was just an unranked regular fight instead of having just to play like a mixed bag of games. Hopefully there's a way where you can just, like, there's a side menu where you can just play only just regular fights instead of having to just jump into like a randomized mode generator thing. But you know, it's gonna be awesome. I like how it is. I like how it's set up and everything. It looks really cool. And ranked matches, that looks legit. I'm excited about ranked matches for sure. I like how they just set you up right away. It reminds me, they're following in the footsteps of some of the greatest fighters for sure. Like, I mean, it's taking elements from Street Fighter and Tekken, and those are good things to do when you're talking about a brand new fighting game being released. So that's really cool. Ranked match looks exciting. There's going to be just straight up just different ranks. I think I saw one of them was like Snail, and then there was one that said Lollipop, and I think Lollipop was after Snail. So that's kind of like, how are these? I mean, I don't know. Like, that seems like a weird ranking system, how at first you're a snail and then you're a lollipop. What? Like, that doesn't really make sense. Okay, I've talked a lot of good about this game. It's time to jump into some of the things that I didn't necessarily like very much. Grand Prix mode is stupid. I don't like it at all. Like, I think it's actually kind of dumb. First things first, calling it a Grand Prix seems really weird. Like, I wish it had like a cool like tournament style name, like King of the Iron Fist Tournament. Like, spoof that. Call it like King of the Iron Arms Tournament or something. Like, make it, I don't know, like Arms Race or just call it something else instead of Grand Prix. Because when you say Grand Prix, I think of like a racing game. I think of Mario Kart or Gran Turismo. I do not think of a fighting game at all. So Grand Prix was a really dumb title for the arcade mode or story mode or whatever they're playing it as. And then the actual mode itself, I don't really get. I mean, there's something there that we're not seeing for sure, because it says you fight 10 fighters and then you go on to the final fight, or the 10th is the final fight, and they show this like boss looking character, kind of looks like a beefy version of Springman. I don't really know what's going on there. And then at the end of this trailer, they show like a four-armed character, which looks really, really kick-ass. Like, I want to play as that character for sure. So I don't know if there's like gonna be like a story mode for each of the characters, like a little cutscene at the end. If they do something like that, I'm down. That works fine. That's a good way to convey a story. Just have like a beginning, like you start the the mode with each character, and they have like a little cutscene, and then at the end they have a little cutscene. Like, I'm okay with that. That works just fine. But if they don't do that at all, and it's just a standardized arcade mode, that's rather disappointing. That's rather boring, in my opinion. Like, I really don't like that. I mean, as a separate mode, just like an arcade mode, like a 10 battle match or whatever, that's fine. But having that as the main single player draw seems pretty poor, in my opinion. So that's probably my least favorite part about the entire game, probably. So yeah, the differing arms and how complex the game looks excites me. It really does, because I'm curious what people are going to be doing in this game. I mean, when I can't remember which character it was the character that had the shield that could like push characters back, and then I think it was DNA Man, yeah, or sorry, Helix. They were calling him DNA Man when he first leaked. With Helix, he had like this shield that pushed enemies back, and then he could lob his droopy arm or whatever it was called. It would go over the shield and smack down the enemy. That was awesome. Like, I loved that. That was super, super cool. And I'm excited to see more strategies like that in this game. There's over 1,000 different combinations for each of the characters, so you can really go in and train. Like, there's a training mode there where you could test out different arm combinations. Like, it sounds like it's going to be really, really complex and strategic. And again, that really excites me. Maybe this could be Nintendo's new, fighting game IP. I mean, it's exciting. It really is. I love the way this game looks. This Direct was really well done, in my opinion. I love how they just really focused on this game and just had a Direct and it just explained the entire game. I like it when Nintendo does that. It shows me that they have faith in the IP, and it shows me that they're excited for the IP just as much as we are. There's a beta coming, which I'm really excited about. I haven't read too many details on it. They just announced a slew of days that you're going to be able to play it. Is it going to be the whole day, or is it just going to be specific times? I hope that it's just the whole day, and they learn from the Splatoon 2 Global Test Fire, and you don't have to play for only an hour. Like, what is that? That was so dumb. I only got to play the beta once. Like, because I had work, I couldn't like make my schedule around the Splatoon 2 beta. Let me play it. Like, at least just give it to me for a whole day. I'd rather just have it just for one day. I'm going on a rant right now. I need to calm down. Hopefully they learned from that and they don't do that with ARMS, the Testpunch, which I thought was a cool name for the beta. But yeah, I really like this Direct. I really like the way this game looks. It comes out in June. I'm really excited. But it comes out the tail end of when Tekken 7 comes out, and also if Injustice 2 just came out like earlier this week, and fighting games are alive right now. Like, this is really exciting. Like, there's a brand new fighting game, Tekken 7 and Injustice 2. Like, each of them are very, very different and very, very exciting to me. So yeah, I wish they kind of touched in on how you're going to play this with the Pro Controller or without motion as well. Like, do you use the analog sticks for the ARMS? I'll have to read about that. I'm sure someone has played this game without motion controls at one of the events that Nintendo has held with the Switch and everything. So yeah, that is my thoughts on ARMS. Something else I actually wanted to touch on was the fact that they focused so much on this game before E3 is interesting. It makes me think that they're really not going to talk about this game at all, which I think is a good idea, because the game comes out like during E3 or like a few days after E3, so it doesn't really make sense to push the game that hard. I think that they need to manage their time for more important things like Mario Odyssey and Fire Emblem Warriors, and perhaps other IPs that they haven't even announced yet. So hopefully Nintendo is smart with their time, and this is the final time we see ARMS until the game is fully released. I am super surprised that there was no amiibo, though. Maybe they'll announce that at E3. Where is my Springman and Ribbon Girl amiibo? I was expecting an amiibo for each of the fighters, so that's kind of weird. I actually kind of want a Springman amiibo. I think that would look really, really cool on any shelf. So maybe at E3 they'll announce that. I'm not quite sure. I've talked quite a bit about this game. Wow, it is like 5:30 a.m. Anyway, comment down below. Give me your thoughts on ARMS. What do you think about this game, and what did you think about this Direct? Are you going to be picking this up, or are you going to be buying Tekken 7 instead? I am going to be buying both. So yeah, I'm going to be fired up for sure during this summer. Like, Tekken 7 and ARMS is definitely going to take a lot of my time, so I'm excited. But yeah, comment down below and give me your thoughts on ARMS. in the comments. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed anything that I had to talk about today. Please be sure to subscribe as well for more E3 2017 coverage. This wasn't really E3 coverage, but you get what I'm saying. Gaming coverage and everything in between. My Hero Academia reviews, of course, and as well as Attack on Titan. And yeah, again, thank you for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.